Right, good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm sure you guys had a insightful discussion, and all of you guys here who have been here, you guys are all invested and interested in the youth energy developments. So, for myself, I'm currently right now working as an energy consultant. I have I graduated from my NUS and master schools in energy systems, and we have seen the youth energy system, the ecosystem grow throughout the past maybe 5-6 years, and quite a lot of change in the past 5-6 years. And when I was asked to give this sharing, I asked quite a lot of people from the ecosystems. I asked quite a lot of people from the opinions over what has changed, because it's not always easy to see what has changed now that we are standing where we are today. Yeah. So this is an interactive dialogue, and I think when we understand energy communities, this is really part of a bigger ecosystem, and the bigger umbrella we have right now is the climate ecosystem. So I mean, energy, of course, is a bit of a different topic. It is a very conventional, it's a very conventional domain. You have energy systems way before that we have been talking about climate issues. Yeah, and then you have this bigger umbrella of youth communities. So, you know, with someone that's beside you, I'll give you a bit of time just to ponder through these 3 questions. And at the end of the discussion, I'll also ask you the same 3 questions. And I think this will be a good setup to the panel that we're going to have in the evening as well. So the first question is, what is so different about the position of youths when it comes to dealing with energy systems today? What is the value of a youth energy community? And how can we build better systems to support youth communities as well? So yeah, just 1 minute. Just pick the person next to you and discuss this. Yeah, and at the end of the minutes, we'll reconvene. Yeah, okay. So I'll have you guys' attention back. All these things you can discuss later. I think there's a lot of discussion points after the panel, after the presentation, and I believe some of the people who are here will be at the panel later as well. So the first thing I'd like to address is the tall order of onboarding into energy transition. And when we talk about different sustainability goals, of course, each of them have their own very unique challenges. And these are the challenges that faces the energy transition, onboarding people into the energy topic. Their challenges, number 1, is very invisible, is very complex. A well-running energy systems in the past is an invisible energy systems. So you don't see cooling systems around you. You don't see power generation systems around you because they are meant to be hidden. And this is a very distant topic because it's hidden. And the challenge really is to make people more connected to the energy value chain that is that you don't normally see. The second one is that energy systems are very, very hard and complex to understand. When you think about interacting with energy systems, you think about solar panels, you think about power plants. And this is where it stops. A lot of the thinking doesn't go beyond what happens after the power goes into the system, or all the transformation that goes on. But when we talk about energy transition, this is actually where the complexity is. So this is the part that is really hard to understand beyond just the terminology, beyond just all the jargons that are throwing around. So as someone, I think, who is coming into the energy world, if you know nothing, it's honestly quite intimidating, and it's quite hard to get to the heart of the issue. And the third one is that it is quite distant, and it's quite hard to act upon because everything is dealing with big players. You see big companies, you see NG, you see MTI, you see EMA, and who are you to act on energy sectors? Yeah, so which brings me to which is why we youth need a vision. So it is really starting from where you are, because I planted 3 seeds at the bottom. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. So when we talk about youths, yeah, we are really talking about maybe people from junior college, maybe people from early university, and young professionals. So this a lot of things happen in this phase of someone's life. So number 1, you form communities. A lot of your communities, a lot of your friendship is formed during this transition period. So this is a big opportunity to capture, to build some connections in the industry, to build your awareness to what is happening around you, around ASEAN, around the world. And then you also shape your identity and worldview, and you also shape your career definition, who you are, and where you stand. So a lot of these things need to happen at the same time as you going into and trying to solve the issue that is, a lot of them say that this is a generational issue. Yeah, so we start at, this is actually, you can see it as a value chain. Of course, this is a very, very simplified value chain sort of stuff. So like your vision will go from when you first come in touch, the awareness, and then we go into like active citizenship. We can write, we can lobby to governments, and then it all goes all the way into like running local projects and going into like going to professional development where you're trying to go in and solve the problems yourself. Yeah, and then this is where, and this is like where this is the super high commitment and very, very structured. And at each of these phases, there are risks. Yeah, so for example, if we don't have the rest of the ladder, everyone is stuck at active citizenship. There's actually a big distance between where that is and where you are. And then you get a lot of very angry people who don't know what to do, because you can't really play a part in this transition. So every step of the ladder needs to be here. And when we talk about youth ecosystems, we need to think about currently what systems do we have to support each part of these steps. Yeah, so this is really like when we look at this from a more system level perspective, what we need. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is student energy as well. I think around 5 years ago, what energy is switching off your lights. What energy is buying more efficient light bulb. I mean, it still is today, but the conversation has advanced quite a lot since 5 years ago. And at the point of time, there's also not a lot of communities that talks about this. Yeah, so me and some other friends, we started Student Energy, NUS, back in 2021. And what you're seeing down there is actually the first meeting that we had. Yeah, so that's the inaugural meeting. Yeah, so the Student Energy, there's university-based chapters, there's Student Energy summits, and there's a lot of different things that they do. Of course, this is the NGO, and we brought this here for better conversations. And of course, in this time frame, we have had a lot of events. There's a career night, there's an alumni sharing night. So when you see engagements at this level, this is actually how it looks like, and it's all the plannings that goes behind it. Of course, you're no stranger to this stuff. You're not stranger to this stuff. Because this AlterCOP, we are also hosting a dialogue, and but I want to show you a bit about what is the timeline on stuff right now. So things has been moving, I would say, decently fast, not as fast as maybe some of us would hope that it is. So on this specialized, energy sector topics, Student Energy is founded mid-2021, and then in 2022, we see a Rachel Energy Collab, and early 2023, we see Youth for Energy Southeast Asia. So after that, there's certain events, a part of the teams, they went to UNESCAP, this is in Bangkok, and then they really met, connected with rest of the regional youths on this issue. And then there's we launched some workshops earlier this year as well. So this is the timeline, and we're still going along, and this is going to grow. And currently in the Southeast Asia, this is the youth energy ecosystem. Yeah, and for a lot of these countries, actually only four countries up to now, we have specialized energy interest groups that addresses a very, very complex topics. Yeah, I don't know whether I don't know whether there's other energy groups out there. If you know, please tell us. Yeah, because we'd love to connect. Because when we look at the world, there's really a lot of things that is happening here and around. Yeah, and we just want to take a moment to show you guys, all the things that is possible. Remember the value chain, and remember, what system are there to support it. So for example, this program right here, this is launched by the Indonesian government, and I was part of the KIC Energy as well. This is during my master programs. These are all supported by institutional systems. Yeah, and then you have more NGO type. It's a European Youth Energy Network, and they launched this Energy Transition Career Compass. So there's a lot of things happening out there, and there's a lot of opportunities to be made. So I had discussions with the other youth energy leaders. And I think this is what we generally agreed on, to be the work in progress. Like there's a lot of opportunities to be captured. And number one, it is still, I think it boils down to limited resources. I think at the heart of the issue is that a lot of these groups are still run pro bono. So like there's a lot of people who ask about things. There are a lot of people who say they want to invest in youth, but if you look, but like there's I think relatively less institutional support. And people expect you to be doing this as a hobby, whereby it's really not a hobby. And then we have, I think things that we are doing better right now is number one, demystifying the energy problem. I think people are talking at a much higher level than 5 years ago. Like people are talking about regional energy grid, people are talking about hydrogen, then these are conversations that, people don't talk about 2-3 years ago. So it's really quite promising. And then from the timeline as well, you can see that a lot of regional silos are being broken. Like people are starting to go into like Vietnam, Malaysia, because the regional power grid is happening. But again, if you think about like how much you have, a normal person have in contact with Southeast Asia, this is, a lot of this still needs to be worked on, because there's inherently very big cultural, language, and like economic divide in the whole Southeast Asia region. Yes. And then there are some other issues, that we need to keep on working on, like youth tokenism, like connection to opportunities and access to like critical knowledge and information. I think access to critical knowledge and information is also one of the most important things, because you need to exactly know what information to get. Because there's a lot of information out there. When you search energy transition, they can give you a lot of things, but what do you pay attention to? And I think sometimes people forget as well that youths are not just here to because climate is their future. I think this is always, of course, it's always part of the equation, but we are actually going to do most of the work when it comes to going to 2050 net zero goals. So a lot of people who are just entering this industry now, it is you're a young professional, and by 2050, this is your entire career. So this is what we do for pretty much our entire lives. So this is really the time to plant the seeds that you want to see tomorrow, because energy systems is human systems, and what you see, ASEAN Power Grid, this is what you see on paper, and this is what it actually is going to look like. So with that, I go back to the 3 questions that I posed to you. And you guys can have a talk about it. You guys can you guys can talk about it with your partner. You guys can also think about it in the panel later and in your interactions. Thank you.